If you served during the Gulf War or near burned pits or in Afghanistan or really anywhere that you've been exposed to toxin, you've probably heard this phrase, presumptive condition. And if you have, chances are someone also told you, if it's presumptive, you're in. The VA has to approve it. Not only that, some may go as far as to tell you how much your rating will be. I need you to stay with me for the next few minutes because that statement is not quite right. And that misunderstanding is causing you, my fellow brothers and sisters in arms, months, sometimes years of benefits that you have earned. I'm Dr. CM Queen Williams. I'm a board certified radiation oncologist. I retired Army Lieutenant Colonel who started out as an enlisted, and that's why I wear this hat with a homage, right? I started out as an E1, and yes, I know for all of my enlisted folks out there, I know that there's nothing for E1. That's why I'm doing E2 mosquito wings, but I call it my butterfly wings, right? Nevertheless, I've been on both sides. I've been on the medical side, and I've been on the military side, and not only just military, but the enlisted and officer. So I have the ability to see both sides of all of this. And I can speak to wherever you may find yourself right now, being active duty, getting ready to ETS, PCS, or if you're trying to do a DIC for a loved one who have passed, or if you're already a veteran that's struggling on many different levels. I've been blessed to have clients who are going through this, and I've walked them through it. And so now I've decided, why not just start a YouTube channel to put out some of the basic information? So please do subscribe, like, follow me, drop something in the chat. I want to know what topics you're having issue with, not just any topic, let me correct that, medical topic, and specifically in the cancer realm. And if you're like non-presumptive, I'll be bringing to you topics that you've asked about to discuss, and just so that you're educated on how to prepare your own packets, right? So that's my goal here in doing this YouTube channel. I'll try to bring information to you, help me help you by telling me what it is that you are having problems with. But today I want to clear something up. Presumptive does not mean automatic. Let's talk about what it actually means, right? And I have my little emblems down here. I am trying to support everyone, right? You don't have to be Army. I know as colleagues, we talk all sorts of stuff. If you're Marines or if you're Air Force, Chair Force, we're not going to do any of that during this presentation. I'm going to try to make things clearer for you and put in your packets together so that you may get the benefit that you so deserve. So the first thing I want to cover then is what exactly is presumptive. This is phenomenal, y'all. Let me tell you. In the VA language, presumptive means that the VA actually agrees with you that they're not going to require proof that your military service caused whatever the condition may be, but it has to be on their list, right? So be sure to check their list. As long as you meet certain locations, you meet certain time frame, and have certain diagnosis. Now, I've worked with some clients who they may have a diagnosis and have an MOS that exposed them to certain toxins, and they're not on the PACT Act. That's where I get into helping folks on another lecture for another day. And this is not a lecture. I mean, I'm a physician. I'm used to doing lectures. I'm trying to break this down so you can understand what you need to do for the VA. What the VA has done, though, that is they've given you this legal shortcut that removes one of the hardest hurdles in VA claim that I used to work with in the past years. But, and this matters, it removes one hurdle. It does not remove the finish line. Let me give you an analogy. So, imagine you're applying for a mortgage and you are going with a bank you've been with for years. And I know in this economy, talking about applying for a mortgage may be a difficult thing for me to request and ask of you to imagine, but just work with me here, right? So imagine you're applying for a mortgage and the bank agrees to skip the credit check. I mean, you've been with them for over a decade, so they know your history. They have everything they need about that. However, they still need your income verification, they still want to see your pay stub, and they want to know about your employment letter. They still have a process that they have to follow. Presumptive status, that is the bank. They're skipping the credit check. The rest of the paperwork, though, still has to happen. So you're getting an easy in, so to speak. But the VA, just like the bank, they still need verification. Point 2, being there is necessary, but it is not enough. Many veterans stop at this. Hey, I was there. They show their DD Form 214 or their TDY orders, and they confirm the location, they confirm the time frame, and they assume that's the whole story. You don't assume that. That is a necessary first step. The VA still has to do its own evaluation. And by the way, for those of you who are watching, if you're active duty, let me tell you something I've noticed over the past few years. Some of your deployments or some of your TDYs, they're not listed on the DD Form 214. I've had one of the most difficult cases that I did in writing a Nexus letter was trying to prove that a veteran was somewhere when it wasn't in their DD Form 214 and they did not have any TDY forms or anything. So if you're active duty, be sure that you're keeping track of all of your TDY orders and keep all those things with you because, hey, you may need it. Yeah, you may need it. Trust me on that one. Oh, yes, please. My medical and educational disclaimer. Please take a moment and read through the disclaimer. All right. Let's talk more about this. So the VA has to evaluate you. Do you have a qualifying diagnosis that meets medical standards? Is that condition currently active or is it in remission with ongoing residual effect? So you can have service connection and the disability rating be 0. They still need to know information from you, such as how severe is it where you are now, because that is what determines your rating percentage. Service connection and disability ratings are 2 separate decisions. 2 separate. You can have service connection granted and still receive a 0 disability rating or lower than you anticipated, or have a claim just completely stalled because the medical piece wasn't clearly documented. Documentation is everything, all right? So we need to make sure we have your documentation done. What the VA still needs, even for presumptive claim, 3 things. First, you need to have a confirmed diagnosis. I have had folks come and send information and I don't have a diagnosis. If you present with cancer, for example, because that's my lane, or you think you have cancer, they've done a biopsy, but nothing was ever confirmed, then you don't really have a case. You need a confirmed diagnosis. Again, I'm using the cancer world because that's where I live in. So pathology reports, oncology, which means cancer, so you need your cancer doctor notes, imaging results. Whenever you see imaging, they're talking about CT scans, MRI, X-rays, PSMA PETs. Those are the things they're talking about when they say imaging results. Treatment summaries. Did you have radiation? Did you have chemotherapy? They want those summaries. And better yet, if those can be summarized, that would be helpful. So the diagnosis must be documented to medical standards. Second, evidence of current status. Is the condition active? Is it in remission? Stable with residual? Active cancer is often rated 100%, right? Notice I said often. I cannot be the one to say what the VA is going to rate. That's part of my disclaimer. But post-treatment, you may be rated differently on residual. It may go lower, not the original diagnosis. The original diagnosis is done 6 months, 12 months later. They may have another reevaluation and need to know where you are at that time. Third, Information for rating purposes, they want the severity, functional impact, treatment history, complications that you may be facing. This is where most claims stall. Not because you, the veteran, doesn't qualify, but because the records lack clarity. And I'm telling you this. Don't try to make things more complicated than they need to be. And again, this is just a quick review here of what it is that they want. This is an example of the cancer claim process. This is what they're looking for. Do you currently have active disease here? Are you in remission? Are there residuals? All of this needs to be documented. So be sure when you're going to follow up with your doctor that these things are being documented. And how do you know? You have access to your electronic medical record, EMRs. Take a look. If you went in and you complain about something, make sure it's documented and the things are in there that are correct. This is all about you and for you. Now, the fourth thing that you need to know is that presumptive claims still get delayed or denied. And here are some of the common reasons that you can fix and the reason why I am starting to do this YouTube channel. I have been just getting a lot of information coming in, and my schedule cannot take everyone. And so I decided, why not just put information on some of the basic stuff out there. So I'll try to do my best in getting some of the basics out, specifically in the cancer lane. But if there are certain things that have to do with toxins, I do have a biochemistry background. I work in radiation, so that I can assist with. So here are some of the common reasons that your claim is being stalled, is listed here. Missing medical records. You're writing a personal statement and saying this, and that, but then they have nothing documented in your records. Outdated documentation. You're a year out from cancer treatment and you have no follow-up notes for them to say how they should grade you or what issues you're currently having. Your misunderstanding of what rating criteria require, lack of clarity about your disease status. So unfortunately, when the treatment is done, that's not the end. It's actually where a lot of stuff starts. So after the treatment is finished, the cancer treatment or whatever treatment it was that you have, you still have to go through more information to give the VA what it is that they desire. This is one of the biggest issues that I have to face when I'm dealing with you, my colleagues and comrades and brothers and sisters in arms. Clarity in your medical record does not weaken your claim. Don't try to be vague. Don't try to make it what it's not. Just make sure when you're talking about your stuff, you put out there what your medical record says. Don't withhold anything. Because I've seen records submitted, or they try to have me do, review their records for Nexus, and I'll see page 10 out of 54, and then it'll skip to 15. And then they're missing pages. Why? Don't do that. Don't do that. When we have all the information we need, the information will be presented accordingly. I do not represent the VA. I'm not a lawyer. I am a physician, a cancer doctor who was enlisted and who was an officer retired with over 20-something years. So I understand the lingo on both sides, and that is what I do. Do not hide any of your records because these things are easy to find out. Now, a denial does not always mean you're ineligible, right? Very often it means that the VA did not have enough information to rate the claim correctly. So if you have a denial, it's okay. Resubmit. Clarity in your medical record does not weaken your claim. Again, it strengthens it. Sometimes, though, you just need a little bit of assistance in getting your records together. Everyone will go through a VA strategy consult. If I don't think a Nexus letter or independent medical opinion is required, I will give you the printout as far as what's missing, what needs to be done, and give like a one-page printout from our consultation regarding next step. In the medical lane only, please remember, medical lane only. Okay, so if you need further information, please do contact me, and I look forward to continuing to serve. Please like, subscribe, share with other veterans, other active duty folks. I will, about 1 to 2 times a week, check out your questions and try to answer those. And sometimes what I'll do, if I think they're common theme, I'll do a quick video about it. So please let me know what you would like me to discuss. Again, thank you so much. And don't forget to go to q4cd.com. You might follow my blog as well. It's blog.q4cd.com. But just go to q4cd.com and connect with me. Let me know how I may further assist. Until next time, I am Queen, your family-friendly cancer doctor. You take care and God bless. Bye now.